Hey there, Popcorn Squad. It's your boy Juan.
And I'm Christian.
And today we're going to give you the spoiler review of The Batman.
Batman.
That's right. We're going in. Spoiler, baby.
Yeah,
so,
going
warning right now.
Yes.
You want to leave, dude? Dip.
Freaking
We're going
leave.
in.
We don't want you here. I'm just kidding. We actually do. But
not if you don't
watch
want
the
to know
movie.
about spoilers.
Yeah, go watch the movie first. Make sure you watch the movie
Because we're
first.
releasing this the day of, buddy.
Yes, and watch it in the biggest screen possible. Biggest format. Go
IMAX
watch it.
if
Push pause
possible.
on this video right now. Pause.
And buy
3,
tickets.
2, 1. All right, now you're back. You've already seen the movie. Let's talk spoilers. I know in our non-spoiler review, Juan, you and I gave our consensus, our first impressions. We both said it was good.
I loved it.
It is. It's fire. I think it's fantastic. But what are some of the things that worked for you talking spoilers now, knowing that there's no constraints on us? We can talk about whatever we want.
Yes. One of the things that worked for me was Selena Kyle.
She was so good, dude.
She was so good, dude.
Bro, she was born to
good.
play this part, dude.
She was,
oh
dude.
my gosh, there's not anybody that was more. I thought Michelle Pfeiffer was killer, but she wasn't as comics accurate, obviously. She was just her own thing, and she killed it. She did great.
She killed it.
Just like Heath Ledger, killed it. Wasn't comics accurate, but he killed it. But this chick, Zoe Kravitz.
Bro, on the nail.
Oh my gosh, she was so good, dude. I was just like, how?
Zoe Kravitz was wild in this
dude.
role, bro.
Oh, and I love that she scratched Falcone's face at the end. 'Cause
Yes,
that's like
yes.
that's his signature look, like with the cat scratches across his face, especially in Long Halloween, knowing that she's actually his daughter or whatever. Like, man, like that was so good, dude. She was killer. She was fire. Yes, I agree.
Totally worked for me, dude. 100%. Her
Yes.
dynamic with Bruce
Yep.
or Batman was awesome because she doesn't know it's
killer.
Bruce still somehow. What worked for me? Penguin, bro.
Bro.
Penguin worked for me.
Oh my gosh, Colin Farrell, dude. That man.
He was so funny, dude.
Bro, he was funny, but he was also like, is this
But like
Colin
by being
Farrell?
serious, you know what I mean?
Like, yeah, but like also like I was
Yeah.
like, is this
Is it
seriously
Colin
Colin Farrell? Like, am I looking at Colin Farrell right now? Gosh, he
100%.
was so good. And I love his like he's always playing it for himself. You know, like he does.
Yeah.
He's never like on somebody's side. He's only on your side if it benefits him. And all the way down to the end with Falcone's arrest and everything, like he was like, you're a freaking rat. You know, and I'm just like, man, like he killed it, bro. He was so good. And I hate that they gave away his most, like one of his funniest moments with the Batmobile chase. I hate that they gave it away in the trailer, but I do understand it's a big scene to promote. And it worked.
It's such a big scene, dude.
Oh, dude,
when he goes on the
car
ramp
chase.
and he goes on the ramp.
Honestly, that whole car chase, I don't think we've seen a superhero car chase in traffic like that before.
That's what I thought.
I was like,
literally, I was thinking to myself, wow,
Like,
there's actual traffic here.
yeah,
dude.
I was like, there's 18-wheelers, and like they're like blocking the road. Like I loved that he was like, get out of the way. Like he was like honking. I was like,
I loved it.
Dude,
I was like, dude,
he's honking at like people. Like
this is
like,
real.
Yeah,
this is
like
what
I was
happened.
like, this is me on like 281, and I'm just driving, and like the penguins behind me honking, telling me to get out of the way. Like it was just
dude. Like it's not always gonna be clean roads, you know,
Exactly.
like, or some route that you just jump out of like a freeway or something. Like you have to manage it.
Yeah,
I thought that was
so
killer.
good.
That
And
worked for me too. That scene worked for me.
He really killed it. Honestly, all of the villains killed it, all the way up to Riddler. He was probably one of the biggest things that worked for me.
Really
He
was great, man.
So scary. Dare I say, he was as good as Heath Ledger's performance as Joker. I really think he was. He would that interrogation scene when he just let loose. I was like, oh my gosh. Like this
Like the thing was that like we've known Paul Dano to be such a good actor.
Yeah, always.
And like he's always, but he's still been like this C-list celebrity almost.
Yes. Yeah.
So to bring him on,
He never gets like these huge blockbusters.
Yeah. So to see him be such a big character like this is so nice. And it just shows off his like caliber of acting. It was so nice to see like him go insane in that cell when he's like no, we're supposed to watch this together. I set it up for us. And you're just like, what?
But like also,
no. Like that scene, dude. It's like, dang, that's so
but
cool.
as like haunting as that was for him, you know, like as a character, and you really saw the pain in him, you know, like he thought me and Batman are gonna watch this together. It was also incredibly scary because you knew at that moment he was revealing something, and it was like, wait a minute, what just happened, bro? It was
amazing too
moment.
because his obsession with Batman didn't allow him to see that it was Bruce Wayne, and I loved that. Like I loved that was because even Bruce himself is like, "Damn, I think I'm done." You know, he even says it to says it to Gordon.
Dude, that was the funniest when they were all like in his apartment and like the pictures there, and I was like, okay, like that kind of almost didn't work for me. Like I was like, like Gordon, how do you not know this boy is Batman? Like how do you not figure? How have you not figured this out?
The same jawline.
Yeah, like not just that. Like the only crime scene that Batman didn't show up to of the Riddler was the one at Bruce Wayne's house because he couldn't. Because he's Bruce Wayne. It's him. Like, I was like, how did you not put these pieces together in your mind and be like, oh, this is Bruce Wayne? Like, I just thought that was really funny, dude. But yeah, honestly,
but it worked for me because I was like, oh, Batman himself is like, oh shoot, I think I'm done. And then he goes up to him and he's like, but we didn't get Bruce Wayne, you know? And he's like,
and
he's like, it's like the sigh of relief.
Like, we're good.
Like, you're insane, Riddler. Just
no, dude. Honestly, the funniest.
That should be the meme version of it, dude. The meme version of it should just be like him sweating bullets, and he's like, "But we didn't catch Bruce." Just like,
oh, thank God.
You're insane, Riddler. You're going into jail forever.
Dude. Like, and then he just like went to town on him, like after that, just like berating him, like you suck.
Like, I mean, he did, bro. He verbally destroyed him, dude.
He really did.
He was just like, hey,
dude.
dude.
The best was when they looked up his like online video when they like unlocked it, and he was like, "Hey guys, bro." He was like not scary at all. Like
not scary.
He was like,
at
"Hey
all.
guys, thanks for the tips on the detonators." Like I was like,
"Thanks for the donations."
Yeah, dude. I was like, this. Like I was ready for him to be like, just hit that like button, subscribe. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah, you know, actually, that was why I think it was scarier for me because I was like, this can happen.
Oh yeah, like, somebody's review of the movie.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying like some guy can rile up a whole amount of people and they can do this.
Yeah, that's
you
why.
know what
like,
I mean? That's scary.
There was a review. There was a review that literally said this is a how-to manual on being a terrorist.
100%.
Like, yeah, you're not wrong. Like this is
100%.
1,000% a how-to manual on being a terrorist.
You just rile some people up, and they'll support you, and that's it. Yeah. Like it's gonna happen. I was like, that's why it was so scary to me because I was like, this can be real any second.
Real. Way too real. Because so there was a lot of speculation that there would be copycats for when the Joker came out, the movie Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of speculation, like there might be copycats, there might be people like shooting people because of what happened with Batman, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises.
I would imagine that there should be more like alertness for this movie because of how real the Riddler is. Like I was like, oh, this is a Riddler for our day and age. Like this guy's real. He's just killing a few people, and then he put the right pieces in the right places. And boom, he like literally ended his city.
And I found it interesting because when he posted that video that they unlocked, it said in the bottom like rifles should be good, like this caliber rifle.
Yes.
And I was like, why did I bring that up? He never used the rifle except when he shot. What's his name? But it made sense because then at the end you see like everybody brought their own rifle, dude. Like, everybody just like brought
a bunch of Riddlers. I was like, what is happening right now?
Oh, and then another one of the comments was, "Oh, it's just a military mask. Just you can buy it here."
Oh,
you saw that?
There was like a link or whatever. Like,
yeah, they dropped the link. Like, oh, you can just buy the mask here.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, that's crazy because I'm telling you, that's how it happens.
Yeah, and he covered himself in that like cellophane wrap so that he wouldn't get his fingerprints anywhere or anything like that. Like that was just like, I was like, this guy is a literal psychopath. Like he's a psychopath human. And
but that's also Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I think that like that's the reason why he was so effective as a villain.
100%, dude. I think
was so solid.
what worked so well also was the fact that they are opposites of the same coin. Geniuses in their own right.
Yeah.
Maneuvering in the dark in their own right. Producing fear in their own right.
Yeah.
But one is using his insanity for evil while the other one's using his insanity for good. So like it was great to see that, which is usually the dynamic we see with Joker and Batman. We're seeing with Riddler and Batman.
Yes. You know, I have to commend Paul Dano for not making Riddler so jokery.
I mean, there were some parts where I was like, this is a little jokery.
I mean, maybe when he laughed.
Like the first videotape when he's just like with the guy.
I didn't think that was jokery. Okay, let me tell you why. The reason why you think that's jokery. Because that happened in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, with Heath Ledger when he's like slapping his face, like, how about you?
But that's not Joker from like comics.
I mean, yeah, but like it's already been presented from a Joker.
Yeah, so I didn't take that as Joker-esque at all. I just took that as like he's a psychopath and like he's just. I mean, it's kind of hard to like. It's kind of hard to not do that and present a psychopath. You know, like if it wasn't in a Batman movie and they still did that exact same scene, it would just be representing a psychopath. So you're right. Yeah, which is what I think they were trying to do. He was very reminiscent
his laugh
of
too?
like his laugh was the most thing that got me like, that's kind of Jokerish.
It was very Jokery too.
Yeah, but other than that, I think he did a tremendous job at differentiating himself from the Joker.
No, he did great. The insanity aspect of it was what really separated him from the Joker. Like and his obsession.
Kills. Yeah, but also like his kills specifically, like the opening kill with now we can say it, the carpet. What's it called? The thing that picks up the carpet
wedge thing.
The wedge thing. Yeah,
he has it on here. Yeah.
I don't know. That's what you were talking about, right? In the non-spoiler review. Yeah.
He has it here. I don't know.
Bro, when he literally was like, oh yeah, my cousin owns a carpet cleaning service and that thing is for lifting the carpet. I was like, oh God. I was like, he has the whole plan right there in his freaking bedroom.
Floor.
Dude. Like in his floor. Like, oh dude. I was like, I knew the city was going to get flooded.
Because it's like 100% Batman wouldn't know what that is either. You know, like Batman definitely would not be like, oh, this is for rugs. You know, like, like he was just like, man, what is this? You know, like he was just like
he's like, I guess this looks like a
this
weird hammer.
Blunt blade object that he used to kill this man with. You know, like hammer, nobody knew. Gordon, nobody knew. They saw it multiple times and they're all like, man, what is this, man? What a killer, man. He just killed him with that.
I saw it in the beginning. I was like, oh man, this guy like went for the weird end of the hammer. Like, why didn't he just use the regular part of the hammer? Like, I was like, what kind of a hammer is this? First off, it has a flat blade on the end of it, but like he used that part to hit the guy. Like, I was like, what? Like, I don't understand. But like when it got to the end, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. And it made a whole lot of sense. But he worked for me tremendously. I think all the villains worked. I even liked Falcone. Yeah. I like how
calm he was the whole time.
Yes, and that's a different Falcone than we usually see. We usually see somebody who and not many people have played Falcone in like movies, but in comics and in the animated movies, he's always played as somebody really big and bulky, and he's very deep voiced, very intimidating, has the big scratches. He's called the Godfather, you know, and so this was a very different take on Falcone, but I liked it. I really enjoyed where they took it. Liked it a whole lot, man.
You know, speaking of which, well, just before actually I forget, dude, that shot in the beginning when he like finished killing him with that blunt object thing, and then like it lands right on the not blurred part of the camera.
Oh yeah, that was I'm telling you, the DP is a god. He's a god among men.
I was like, that must have taken either so many takes or you planned this perfectly. One or two.
VFX.
Or it's VFX, yeah. Or it might be
I'm imagining it's VFX.
It was perfect. Like just the way I was like,
and like the blood was like facing the camera the exact way. Like
all of it was perfect.
Yeah, it was absolutely perfect. I'm pretty sure it was VFX. I mean, if they got that in camera, like kudos. Like that's pretty impressive.
It was an insane shot, dude. it lived in my brain for a minute. You know, like while I was watching the movie, I just kept thinking, I was like, how did they do that? Like I was like, that was so
really,
good.
you know, speaking of cinematography, I really loved the way the film looked. I thought that like the shallow depth of field really worked for this character. And and this is going to get super deep, like movie philosophical kind of thing, right? Like looking too far into the movies. But I really think it was to show you how shallow Batman's like journey for vengeance actually is, and what he should do is what he ended up doing at the end, which is bring hope to the city.
Bring hope.
Yeah. Vengeance isn't going to do anything because it's shallow. And I think that the shallow depth of field really portrayed that, because almost every single time you saw Batman on screen or anything pertaining to Batman, it was very shallow depth of field. And I really enjoyed that. I was like, man, like they're literally showing how shallow this guy's life is. Like, it's pretty intense.
No, 100%. I think that from here on out, we're going to get a more bright Batman, not in the sense of like the darkness aspect, but like just him bringing hope instead of vengeance.
Yeah.
And I think that was the whole point of this movie, was just showing him kind of understand that vengeance brings more pain than it brings good, you know? So it's like, oh, my vengeance brought fear, but also brought up these criminals.
Yeah, honestly, like what's his name? Riddler says it in the movie that he would not have been Riddler had it not been for Batman. He was born from Batman. Like he was still doing what he was doing. He was killing people, but he wasn't doing it in like the magnitude that he was as the Riddler until Batman made his face. Like the theatricality of it came from the fact that Batman, it's causality. And I think that Vision said that in Civil War, and that's honestly the perfect example of causality. Batman arose, like, a villain arose.
Yeah, and like his whole thing with his people was like, this is for vengeance. We are vengeance.
Yes.
And that's why he's like, I'm Batman's best friend because I'm doing this for vengeance. You know, like, and it's just like, whoa, like, it's true. Like, you don't understand that, like, when you push something like that, it will inspire somebody like that.
Yes.
So now he's like, oh, well, then I have to push hope. Yeah. But, like, let's be real. Like, Joker's coming. So, like,
and you know,
pretty dark.
I wonder what the story is going to be, because, like, okay, so this is so interesting to me, like where this story's going, because this was very reminiscent, especially the fact that they used Riddler. This was very reminiscent of 0 Year, and 0 Year is a comic run that happened. I want to say when the New 52 run started back in like 2010 or something like that. Basically, what happens is Riddler takes over the city. There's a whole lot of crap going on, and the city becomes apocalyptic. Like, it's literally like an apocalypse. Batman ends up looking like he has a different outfit on, riding a motorcycle around. Like, it's very different, right? That kind of happened in this movie. You got the apocalypse. The city was flooded. People don't know what to do. Like, the city's destroyed. Like, so they're heading in that direction. But what's really cool about 0 Year is that there's a story that came out later, like in 2018 or something like that, that is based in the time of 0 Year, and it's called The War on Jokes and Riddles. And it's a war between Riddler and Joker. And it takes place during 0 Year, which is kind of what's happening in the movie. And now you get Riddler and Joker. And I'm like, are they going to give us the War on Jokes and Riddles in the next movie?
Oh, I'm sure.
That'd be freaking sick. Like, I'd be super down for that. I loved that comic run. Like, it was so much fun.
Because I don't think they would have presented them as friends at the end of this movie if they weren't definitely going to break up in the next one, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Or just like, because in the War on Jokes and Riddles, they're against each other, but it's almost like the Riddler caused so much panic and chaos that Joker was just pissed off, and he was like, I'm not having fun anymore. Like, I'm literally not like having, like, I don't have any jokes to tell because I'm not smiling anymore. This sucks. And so it's like a war between them, and they're just like, dude, like, what the heck? It's a really interesting story. It really is. It's a fantastic comic run. I liked it a lot. Some people didn't, but I'm like, man, are they gonna, like, usually the second movie is the darkest chapter of any trilogy. Are they gonna do that, or is it, like you said, gonna just continue to get lighter from here on out? I don't know.
I'm not too sure, but for sure, man, like, I don't know, those things, I mean, we went off a little bit, but like, man, those are the things that work for me 100%. I would want to say more things that work for me, but the truth is that there's a lot more that worked for me that didn't. So let's go into the next
honestly,
question.
Like, we could be here for hours talking about things that actually
there's so much that worked for me.
No, it was beautiful. Okay, so like, let's get into specifics then. What didn't work for you?
Alfred's relationship with...
Same.
with Bruce. I thought that he actually. Well, I liked. It was vice versa. I liked Alfred's relationship with Bruce. That like, although Bruce is being rude or weird or mean, he's like nice to him, and he still does it. He's still deciphering stuff for him. Be like, even though he didn't ask for it, didn't care for it, you know, like stuff like that. I was like, okay, I appreciate that, but I didn't appreciate like Bruce's like unnecessary, like, you're not my dad, get away from me.
Yeah, it was just. And there wasn't enough of it. There wasn't enough of it to justify.
And there wasn't enough context for me to justify why you're acting like this to the one guy that stuck by you when he didn't have to. You know? Like, so that's why I was like, that's weird. Like, this man taught you everything he knows without, like, reason to. Yeah. And you're just going to push him aside?
And it made the hospital scene not as effective because, like, I was kind of like, don't you like not like this guy?
Yeah. You know? I mean, which I liked, you know, where it was like, he's still kind of like a kid in a way. That whole like, you know, I didn't realize, I never felt fear like that until like I lost someone that I actually care about. And I was like, okay, like, I guess like you're figuring out that you actually do care a lot about Alfred, even though you have this anger towards him.
But that's why you shouldn't have felt like, oh, okay, I get it. You should have been emotionally attached. And you weren't.
The whole time.
Yeah, and you weren't. And that's the thing. That was a problem with their relationship. And I was just like, man, you could have given him more screen time. And honestly, I was like, are they really going to kill my boy Alfred? Like, first movie? Like,
I thought, I was like, dang, dude, are they really going to go this
That's why I was like, like, people, okay, first off, that's something I had a problem with. Bruce and Alfred must be gods. Because those guys took a blow to the face, bro. Like an explosion.
To the face,
To the face, dude. It wasn't even like, oh, like they were in the vicinity of it. Like,
specifically Bruce, though.
Yeah, like
Bruce
it was face.
Is a man of iron, dude. Like, the bomb exploded below him where his chin is.
Yes, and all that happened was like
scratch.
Like, he just flew back, dude. I was like,
even
this
the
guy
cops were like, hey, man, this guy's going to die. Yeah, and it's like, nah, he's fine. Not a single scratch.
That's why I was like, this guy should be dead. Like,
this guy should be 100%
did more
dead.
Damage to him than a bomb to the face.
Than a full bomb,
That's why. And then Alfred the same. Like, the guy, like, he was hospitalized, but
actually,
still.
no, he didn't stand up. He did get knocked out, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's how he ended up in the GCPD.
That's right. That's how he ended up in GCPD. Still, he woke up and he was like, like, I was like, come on, bro. Like, I'm like, this guy should literally be dead. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. This guy should be dead. Alfred
or like at least
dead.
Pretty messed up in the face. Like, you should have some scratches or scars.
I did.
Like, homeboy would take off the mask and be fine.
Come on. Give us something. Like a freaking scar or something. I don't know. But going back to something that I did like the whole scene of like Alfred, like the mansion blowing up and it happening before Batman was even able to like get there.
Yeah,
like
I like that.
I was like, man, that sucks. Like that really, that hit me.
That Batman was like racing to try and save him.
And it was,
2 hours too late? Something like that? An hour too late?
That happened a couple hours ago or something like that. I was like, dang,
that was crazy. Yeah, that was like, damn.
Yeah, that sucked. So that was cool. But what didn't work for me specifically was the last 2 minutes of the movie. Ending, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic freaking big climactic ending. Big battle with all the Riddler pawns, you know, like, man, it was so fire when he jumped in and it was like,
bro,
dude, I was like, I was
that
like,
was Batman.
I was screaming and no one else was, and I was like, you guys are idiots. Like, you should be hyped about this, but that's besides the point. What I didn't like was the wrap up. It felt so rushed. It felt rushed. It felt like odd. I was like, oh, you're just gonna drive away on your motorcycle, and like that's the shot. Like, it was just a shot of him on his motorcycle, like a close up, and it just cut to black. And I was like, could you not give me something cooler? Like, give me a big like Batman ending, like him flying into the screen or him driving away from the screen the way he did in The Dark Knight, you know, like it just, you could have given me something that would have left such a bigger impact. I feel like last shots are very important for movies because it's the last taste that you have in your mouth. And so like, if you don't give me a good ending, that's why Nolan's movies are very effective. They give you
their endings are
beast
solid.
epilogues. I mean, The Dark Knight alone, the
Specifically,
epilogue.
Dark Knight's
Oh
epilogue
man,
was,
the speech that Gordon gives when he rides into the light and it's just like
protector.
a dark night. Like, oh, it's so
Boom,
good.
boom,
You know,
boom.
the movie
Yeah.
could have been trash, and I would have been like, yeah.
But the ending, it's always about entrance and your outro.
It's about
That's
what you first see and what you see at the end. And those
Yeah.
2 points of this movie particularly were the weakest points, in my personal opinion. And that is what didn't get it to like Dark Knight level. Like, it would have been as good or potentially better than The Dark Knight.
It had the potential to be the best Batman movie of all time.
Easy.
And those were the things that for sure I was like, that's one of the things that I'm not like, like you're not the best. You're close to it. You're probably, like I said, you're the best solo Batman movie in the past 10 years. Also the only one.
Yeah.
But
I would
you
say
for
this
sure,
one's better than Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, it's better than Rises, and it's better than Begins for sure.
I don't know, man.
You know?
Begins is really good.
You like Begins a lot?
Yeah, I love Begins. I think it's almost as good as The Dark Knight for me. Like, I love that freaking movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like Begins a lot, but I don't like it that much. Like, I think this, in my book, would be like better than Begins. For sure.
I think this one's better than Batman 89. I also think it's better than Batman Returns. And a lot of people think Batman Returns is one of the greatest Batman movies of all time. I agree. But I do think this one's better.
In terms of the introspectiveness that they like try to add to Bruce in that movie, I mean, I can see why people love it. But I for sure, I mean, this is better than all of them.
Yeah.
In terms of their acting, in terms of their choices, in terms of like, the story.
Just in general, in filmmaking, just like where we've come as like, you know, cinema, it's better. But
every shot was gorgeous.
Oh, it was like a painting. It really was
dark on purpose.
Yeah, and it was, bro, it was like a comic book. Honestly, it just looked like panels of a comic book. The shot of the coffee with the question mark. I was like, "Are you kidding me, dude?"
Dope.
The camera,
so dope.
The movement of the camera was just like so perfect.
Yeah. It was so precise.
I almost wonder if it was VFX.
And maybe.
Honestly, it was so perfect that I wonder if it was VFX, because I'm just like, gosh, that looked too clean. Like, you can't get something that clean in camera. Like, seriously, if they did, hats off to them, man. My mind will truly be blown. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that there was minimal amount of things that didn't work for me. I honestly can't off the top of my head think of anything else that didn't work. It was mainly just the opening shot. I thought was a little odd. It kind of took me out. And the final like minute, you know, where like they're driving away from each other, felt a little fast and furious.
Yeah, what didn't work for me was okay, so the lighting, although I loved every single shot, it felt unrealistic in some scenarios. Like I said, like the hospital, I said that in the other version. Like the hospital totally should be fully lit, bro. Like it's not the 1700s. Like there's for sure full white light here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
or the crime scene, like Edward,
or the crime scene,
Edward Nashton's apartment. Why was there not more lights there?
Exactly. Like those places should be pretty well lit, and you guys kept it dark for, I get it. You know,
aesthetic
looks great.
Reasons. Yeah.
Aesthetic reasons.
Yeah.
And kudos to you. Looks amazing.
Yeah.
But like, to me, it takes me out and reminds me that there's a comic book movie, or it reminds me that it's just a movie in general when things like that happen. And like, it takes me out. And then another thing that didn't work for me too much is like, maybe they'll explain it later and it'll work for me then. But like, as of right now, since I'm coming at it like clean, how is his suit bulletproof, bro? It looks thinner than every other suit I've ever seen. Like,
I wouldn't say that. Ben Affleck's suit looks way thinner. Ben Affleck's suit is literal cloth.
It's definitely, you're right. I mean, for sure there's armor on this thing. But
I actually felt like it was pretty thick. I felt like you could feel the weight of it. Whenever he would walk, I was like, dang, this thing. But
like, heavy. How does not a single bullet go through this thing? Even a shotgun shell.
Yeah, like there's got to be like weak points.
A shotgun
there's
at this close range only did him like, like it's
there's
like, nah,
weak
dude.
Points, like fulcrum points that are like weak, like in the shoulder blade, like Mando.
Like he has to have some. What did work for me though was like how he used the bat shield as like a blade or something.
Bro,
that was pretty dope.
Yes, when he took it out and he was just like, I was like,
yeah, and then he just put it back like,
yeah,
a little
like,
magnet.
like no problem. I was like,
yeah,
I like that.
I was like, that's actually pretty dope.
I like that. Yeah, that.
Was that his? Did he use a batarang at all in the movie?
No,
I don't remember him using it at all, like an actual batarang.
No, and I think the most effective batarangs that I've seen are from BVS in that warehouse fight when he's just like
that giant fat batarang.
It's a huge freaking blade.
Yeah,
like, I'm like,
it's giant. Like he's not even foldable. I don't know how he carries them.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not this little conspicuous like,
yeah.
you know, like no.
Like Nolan's were like small, and then aside from them, they would fold. You know, this one's like
they would like fold or whatever. Yeah, this one like full on machete, dude. Like just like.
Yeah. Like even in like Shazam when they're carrying it, it's like this giant thing.
Yeah,
it's like,
huge, dude. It's freaking huge.
Like, how do you carry these in that belt, bro?
It's like
you probably only have like 5 of them, dude. Like there's no way you got more than 5
or
at
like
a time.
One. Like
yeah, there's no way.
There. Like on his belt, it's just there. Like,
and it's like, you're gonna tell me you have an endless amount in that belt, bro? Those giant things. Stop it.
Yeah, dude, it's the worst.
But yeah, dude. I mean, that worked for me.
Yeah,
the suit.
I can't think of. Oh, okay. The suit. Was
the suit
cool,
worked for me. I think in general, in terms of like the look, the aesthetic of it.
It was great. It was great. I love the cowl too. I really like the cowl.
Cowl was great. Gordon was great. Catwoman was great.
Yeah, I mean, this movie had way more things that were great than it did like not great. Like honestly, aside from like. The intro and outro, I don't have many gripes for the movie. Yeah. Oh, I have one
thing
gripe.
that I didn't.
What the frick happened to Alfred?
I think I kind of didn't like.
What?
Joker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to bring that up. Joker's in the movie, and he wasn't great.
I don't know how to feel about him. It was a tease, so I can't really say I had a taste of it, but.
He wasn't.
It was an interesting, not too exciting,
and it was too dark to see his face. I couldn't. He looked scarred.
He looked scarred, and his hair's short, and he sounds young.
Yeah, and he didn't sound maniacal either.
And yeah, he doesn't sound maniacal.
He sounds kind of like a normal kid. Like,
and the thing is that like Riddler sounds a little more insane than he does.
Yeah,
and
maybe we'll get there.
And yeah, maybe when we get a full Joker movie, we'll get that. But for a tease, it was not the most exciting.
Yeah. I have to say, like, if they, I think Nolan teased Joker in the perfect way. Just a card. It's because
and he's free, not in Arkham.
Yeah, you need to flesh out the Joker before you show him. And they didn't. They just gave you a Joker, and we're like,
it's beyond that.
We'll figure it out later.
Why is Joker already in Arkham? Why? How?
Would that mean that this isn't
Batman already put him in?
Yeah, this isn't Batman's first supervillain?
You know what I mean? Like, what?
Well, now you really got me thinking.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wait, Joker's in Arkham Asylum before Riddler arrives, and that's it. And he somehow is.
I didn't think of that at all. Like that never crossed my mind.
That's what bothered me. What bothered me was that I was like, wait, so you're just going to introduce him in Arkham? Who brought him in?
Yeah, I never thought of that. That never crossed my mind.
Who brought him in?
Literally,
he's already been Joker for a while.
Oh man, I'm so confused now. Yeah, because that would mean that like he's had other supervillains before, but it seemed as though this was the first supervillain.
Yeah, exactly.
That like he's just been doing like street
of this
crime.
Caliber.
Yeah,
like
he's just been doing street crime, and then all of a sudden, this terrorist came out of nowhere. You know
exactly. Yeah, and he did a great job. But Joker's always supposed to top the best one. That's just how it works. Joker's always supposed to top.
You are correct. That's a big plot hole there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm assuming, like I said, it's a tease, so they're going to explain all that later.
But it was just like, man.
Not the smartest choice
being stupid
for me.
Yeah.
it's not the smartest choice for me because I was just like, bro, first of all, guy sounds like he's 21. Second of all, he's already in Arkham. Like, what? So one, he's younger than Batman, and two, he's already locked up. So why am I gonna get excited for him breaking out?
You're really making me think. Like, I didn't think of that at all. That never crossed my mind.
I thought about that immediately.
Like, oh, cool, Joker.
No,
what other villains are in there? Literally, that's what I thought.
The minute that I heard him talking, I was like,
what other villains are there?
When I heard him talking, I was like, wait, you're going to introduce him in a cell? He's already in a cell?
I honestly was like, what other villains are there? This is Arkham. I never thought of oh, he put them away already. He's supposed
to be a rock. I don't know. He's supposed to be like an unstoppable force.
Yeah. But he's not
and he
yet.
Stopped already from the beginning? Like what?
Oh, Joker. Okay, yeah.
Like Joker's supposed to be this unstoppable force that comes up and just wreaks havoc, destroys everything. Yeah. Can't be stopped. Batman doesn't understand it. And then he goes into prison because only Batman could. And all of a sudden you're just like, oh no, he's already in prison. We'll figure it out how he gets out later.
No big deal. Yeah, he's in prison.
Dude, that eliminated all kind of like expectation for me. Because now I'm like, oh, he's probably easy to catch, obviously. It's like, obviously he's already in jail throughout this entire scenario.
Yeah.
Riddler's out here wreaking havoc while Homeboy is just like, wow, what a great job. Like, dude, like you should be doing this. This is your job. So it annoyed me, to say the least.
I get that. All right.
So that's
one last thing that didn't work for me. One last thing that didn't work for me was what happened to Alfred. The city flooded and Homeboy's just in a hospital. And like Bruce didn't even think like, oh, let me go like check on him. Like he's like, I have a city to save.
Like, still gotta be Batman.
That's why he's like, I got a city to save, man. Like, I don't got time for Alfred. Like, after they had this like huge heart to heart, like I'm like, seriously? Like,
he's like, we had a great bonding moment. Don't take it to heart. I gotta save the city.
Like, he's like in the bed floating, bro. Like just in the hospital.
He's just
like you see him down Main Street.
Who was that girl? Who was the lady? The lady assistant?
Oh yeah, the random one from I was like, oh, they have like a butler and like a housemaid or something.
He's like, Madam, help me, please. Like just like floating.
Yeah, he's just like floating. He's like floating down Main Street, dude. Just like ma'am, please, ma'am. Like everybody's on the rooftop, like they're having the press conference, and he's just like, Bruce.
Bruce, any time would be nice.
That's why I had a problem with it. I was like, what? Like, you're just not going to go get Homeboy? Like, he's in a hospital. Like,
yeah.
But aside, I mean, those are like nitpicks. Those are stupid gripes. Yeah. Aside from that, overall consensus, it was absolutely incredible. I give it just like our last review, our non-spoiler review. I'm going to give it 4.5 popcorn kernels. 4.5 popcorn. Okay, 4.5 popcorn kernels.
Yeah.
Out of 5.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I give it a 4.5 popcorn kernels. I think, and I give them major props because in this movie, Batman does a lot of things that Batman's never done in other movies.
Detective work. Big detective
work. And also helping the city as Batman in the middle of like his causing of chaos.
Yes.
Like not him causing, but like he's a part of it. So because
he was a big, he's like vital part of it. Yeah.
And he's like, I got to clean up my mess.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Because usually Batman or Superman or whoever wrecks the city and is like, all right, I'm good.
Yes.
like they just dip.
No accountability.
The city has to take care of everything else.
Yes. Or the Wayne Foundation does or something. Yeah.
Yeah. But this one, no.
I'm going to help everybody.
As Batman was out there in the trenches, in the water,
literally
picking people up, taking them. Big props for that. I think that was insane. That's what separates him from a lot of Batman.
And I really like his inner monologue. I think that worked so well.
The monologues
for the
were
intro
great.
And outro. I thought it was great. You're right. They did a lot of stuff that they've never done in Batman movies before, and Got to give him props. The movie was incredible. It was
Incredible
absolutely
movie.
fire. I cannot wait to see what Matt Reeves does with a sequel because we're going to get a sequel. This one's 100%. Too good,
and we're getting some
not
HBO
to get.
Max shows, right?
Penguin and I think Catwoman, possibly Catwoman. But the movie's too good not to give us more. So expect more. Hopefully it'll be at the same caliber as this. If not, then that would really suck. But we'll see. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell, man. But guys, let us know what you think. Put it in the comments. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Do you love us? Do you hate us? Let us know. Just put it in the bottom. But we guys, of course, thank you so much for joining us. We love you guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.